Yo guys, what is going on? Got some more set 16 gameplay for y'all, and today it's going to be a little bit of a roguish matchup, at least on the top. Down at the bottom I am playing Vaccine Armor, arguably one of the best decks in the format for sure. You got Magnamon X, you got Rapidmon X, both are vaccines, both are yellow, so obviously you're going to play the yellow vaccine engine. My friend at the top is playing Silphymon, and I know a lot of people who are pretty excited for this deck just because, I mean, they like Adventure 02, they like the, DNA type of decks. It's not that great, but you'll see it can kind of do some stuff. Like, it's not too bad. It honestly surprised me a little bit. So we're going to go ahead and set up a little bit with the Patamon. Pretty much an ideal opener with the Pata, TK, Yellow Training, choking our opponent to 1, and then we've got a guaranteed, like, Angemon play next turn. So free evolve, guaranteed for next turn. Then we've got basically the full line in our hand here. So definitely can't complain about that. Our opponent is going to go ahead and promote that Biomon that he had evolved last turn, revealing the top 4 cards of the deck by pitching one of a bird or a beast or whatever the specific traits are, the type is. That specifies by Biomon, and then we can add any red card, which I do think is pretty sick. Adds a layer of consistency to the deck because not only does Silphymon have, like, Silphymon itself, the Aquilamon, whatever, you need those, but occasionally you might need maybe your Sora or your Yoli Kari Tamers, or any other red piece that you might need, maybe Crimson Blaze or any other tech cards you want to play. So we're going to go ahead and swing into security, getting a free draw off of that Koromon, getting some damage in, and just playing another Hawkmon, which is a pretty solid searcher for the deck. The real only unfortunate part is that it is part of the movie promo cards, which are fairly expensive, at least last time I checked. Though I think those went down a little bit because the reprints from the adventure boxes. So that's nice, at least if you're trying to play the deck. You will probably need this tamer. So we're going to go ahead and go into Angemon for free off of the Patamon start main phase effect, just thinking about what to put into our security. Sticking a Rapidmon X underneath. And also, if you're wondering why I'm playing BT8 Magnamon in this deck, it is absolutely because I thought it was a vaccine. For whatever reason, don't ask me, but anyways, I thought it was a vaccine, but it's a free, so you can't actually, there's like no synergy aside from the fact that I guess you can just Evo it for 4 and then go into Magna X after that. But your real goal is to try to go into the Rapids early on and then go into Magna off of like an Emissary or off of like just hard Evoing on top of something like the Magna Ace. So we're going to go Magna Ace to pop one of the guys here, getting another search in with the Kudamon, putting our opponent to 3. He's got the memory setter anyway, so I don't really care about that. And then next turn, we can go training into Rapid, or training into Magna X. So we've got a lot of plays for sure. The thing about Magna X is you need an armor form underneath it. So I can't really like Evo it over Magna Angemon, which I guess I could, but it wouldn't really accomplish anything. So there's no point in doing that. So he's going to go Harpymon here, which is one of the other like, I guess, non-canon armors, or the armors that weren't in the anime. So this one's pretty solid. If it hits a security, you either gain a memory or heal one, depending on what like your security number is at. But I guess it's also just like another red-yellow target to be able to go into your fusions. So we're going to go ahead and see that. And can our opponent really do anything? We're going to see Godamon played. On play when Digivolving, you get to return level 6 or lower 2 color card from your trash hand. So definitely good for the recycling. We're going to go ahead and grab Dino Bee there, which is a pretty sick addition, kind of indirect support to this deck. Really just good for any sort of DNA deck, any deck that can play red and purple level 4s. I'm looking at you, Fenrir Lugumon. That card is definitely insane in that deck, so that's pretty cool. On the end of turn, we can DNA into Silphymon with the Hawkmon inherited effect. And of course, just getting our sources correct here, but Silphymon is going to come down. It can definitely do some damage here, being able to do something like neg 7,000 and then pop a 4K. So definitely keeping turn there with the Angemon overflow is pretty sick. So definitely going to get punished for that. And then since this is a new Digimon, since it was DNA Digivolved, our opponent can definitely go ahead and just swing into security. Which, of course, you kind of ran the risk of dying to a security bomb or something before, but now that you've got partition, you don't generally really care about what you hit. So we are going to then go into Magnamon X afterwards, and it does have an armor, like I mentioned before, Silphy, not Silphy, Heartbeamon is in armor form. So it does get the unsuspend. It is unaffected. So this is another one of those decks that, I mean, I guess you can just play Magnamon X in, because why not? Like, it's just a super broken card, and I would Heaven's Judgment here, but I can't really, well, first of all, it's 15,000, but also I can't, like, interact with it. I guess also I don't have any other colors on field, so it would only be -6. But you get my point. Is I can't do anything about this Magnamon X, so it is just going to go ahead and swing into security here, getting the unsuspend. We're going to see Wings of Love, which is a pretty obscure, I think it's a 15 card, yeah. So you get to just play a Tamer, and then if you got Sora, you can return a red Digimon a card from your graveyard to your hand, and so that can synergize really well with the Sora, because then Sora triggers off of whenever you return a card. So if you want to, then since you returned a card, you can bounce back Sora to then play a bird from your hand. Which again, the traits are specified. I don't remember exactly what tracer it is, but you get my point. So it does count your opponent's security. So at this point, I think our opponent didn't do it because you could only play a 5,000 currently. It basically starts at 3k and then scales up for each security your opponent loses by 2k. So not super worth here, especially since we do want a memory setter at some point. But just going to go Biomon in the back and then just swinging out with the Magnamon X, which I think is probably fine against the Vaccine. You really want to get their security as low as possible, as quickly as possible. And it's still like a 15,000 unaffected monster, so it's not like I can easily get rid of it. I have to just go into like my own Magnamon and try to make it like 18 and try to clear it after that. But we are just going to go rapid off of the Patamon effect, and then going to go ahead and stick a Vaccine underneath. So going to go ahead and put a Magnamon X because I've got the Emissary of Hope in hand, so if I draw into level 5, which I actually just did, I can go ahead and go into that for a really cheap cost. So I have a couple lines of play here. I could probably go like Angelmon, Trash the Security, Heal, Neg, I think is a 6,000 or 7,000 onto the stack there. 6,000, and then heal off of the Angelmon's effect. And the nice thing about that Angelmon effect is that it is lingering, so it will last until the end of the opponent's turn. So currently it's, you know, it's not doing anything to his Magnamon, but it will be -6 on the following turn. And then I just get into Magnamon for free, or for 1, I guess, my bad, like, just because it's a Vaccine, it's a yellow Vaccine. So now it's also nice that I can kind of mitigate the loss of the overflow, just because it's very unlikely this Magnamon is leaving the field. So we're just going to go ahead and try to get out of lethal range, putting a Heaven's Judgment on top, which is pretty sick, because now it deters my opponent from swinging a little bit, because if he does swing, I know it's there, so I'm just not going to block. I'm just going to let it go through, and then Heaven's Judgment, kill the Magnamon X. And then I think my opponent here, I was explaining to my buddy, I was like, well, so the security effect of Heaven's Judgment will always trigger first before the all turns of the Magnamon. So the thing about that order of swinging is that, like, you just lose the Magnamon for sure. It goes to 0 before it can trigger its all turns. So if you know Heaven's Judgment's there, you should probably swing Magnamon first, at least to get the damage in, because if I then kill the other body, then you do get the Magnamon's effect to unseal. Like, I basically have to kill the Magnamon with the Heaven's Judgment. So that was a really nice reinforcing boost for me, and a really nice one. So I was able to clear that stack. Of course, he does have Partition, so he's able to play out the 2 level 4s for free. And then we're going to go ahead and go into Dino B. Now, this card, keep in mind, I mentioned this in my ruling video, but this was errated, so he is going to play a body here. He does have to swing with it immediately, and I believe at the time of us recording this, the errated hadn't been announced or whatever, so we didn't know this. So basically we're playing with the old rule of you play something and then you can swing with it if you want. And I think maybe I don't remember if I was explaining that to him now. I can't remember, but that's how the card works now, is like you have to swing with it immediately. So I guess that's what we're going to go ahead and do here, is we're going to go ahead and swing with the Hawkmon. Of course, get his on play. Looking at top 3, I believe it adds a Yoli plus like a free or something, or a dual colored red-yellow, or I guess just dual colored yellow. And so we're going to go ahead and swing with the Hawkmon, and I'm debating whether or not to block. I guess there's not really a point in me not blocking, because then if he hits security with something else, I can trigger the Magnamon to unsuspend. If he goes into his own Magnamon onto the Dino Beast, oh, I guess he can't because it's red-purple, so never mind. Yeah, definitely blocking here I think is the right play. And then we're going to go ahead and go Gatomon. Gatomon's effect, trashing a card, getting back the Silphy. And then thankfully, of course, my Magnamon is unaffected, but he can go ahead and DNA and to the, I guess not the Silphy, second Dino B, playing the Silphy, swinging into security, hitting the Ruin mode, and then triggering the Magnamon effect to unsuspend again. I think I don't remember if I just forgot that I could unsuspend or I just didn't want to. But I think definitely the play here is unsuspending so that we can get at least another block in. So our opponent is just going to go ahead and swing out here with the Dino Bees, and you can see why this card is so powerful, especially in a kind of DNA deck where you can just summon back your pieces, or you can summon back any level 5, give it rush, fuse with them again, multiple swings in one turn. Like you see there, you got me down all the way down to 0. So I think we forgot to trigger the Magnamon X effect to unsuspend, so I could have gotten another block in, but I'm not sure he's able to kill me regardless, just because he can't out the stack here. He can go ahead and probably make another DNA play with the Salamon here. And then we're going to see Lynxmon coming down, which does minus 3,000, I believe, only for the turn, so I don't think it's lingering. So we got our Magnamon here, Magnamon in a Dream versus 3 bodies, which the thing about Partition is it doesn't protect by battle. So I'm perfectly capable. I don't think I can close out the game through security, but I can definitely just swing into the Dino Bees and kill them and not have to worry about Partition. The unfortunate thing here is I have many ways in my hand to trigger the Magnamon effect to unsuspend, to give it the immunity once more, something like Messenger of Hope or any of the 3 TKs in my hand, but I don't have any security, so I can't actually remove a card from my security stack, and think I'm figuring out how I could potentially heal from this sort of situation. We are going to hit a security bomb here, which is giga unfortunate. I am 13k, thankfully, because of the rapid. So the Sunrise Buster is only going to do minus 12, and then I'm going to go ahead and unsuspend. I gain the immunity, so I lose all the DP minus. So then I can swing over the Dino Bee because of Partition. I don't have to worry about the bodies coming back. And then I have a couple plays here. I could slam a Magnamon just to get a block in, but I don't have enough memory to keep turn. But we are going to go Angemon here, and then Heaven's Judgment for 7, clearing the board. I'm not sure why I slammed the Angemon. I think I was thinking maybe if I somehow get an ace to my hand, but nah, there's really nothing I can do with that. Even if I slam the blocker, I think he has more than enough swings to kind of close out the game. But so yeah, that's going to be Silphy versus Magna. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.